Hi guys, hope you're doing well this evening. It's Fred and Sheila with Hatfield, McCoy, Museum Adventures, and FS Investigates.
Guys, this here will be a sad video.
It is a sad one.
This here is breaking news. I don't think nobody else has had this. And it's very alarming, very upsetting.
It really
Just
is.
goes to show how the Buford Pusser family has been treated and done since Pauline passed, since Buford passed, especially since Dewana passed.
Mm.
Mike has passed, Diane has passed, Helen and Carl, of course, they're passed. Now they've got some grandchildren and some great grandchildren left, but Buford and his family and mom and dad, their children, have been treated miserably. People can say justice for Pauline if they want. They have given that family anything but justice. Anything but justice with proof. You know, when something goes on for 58 years and it's gone on that long, if you can't prove it 58 years ago, don't bring it up now. It's over with. They're dead. They're deceased. There's nobody to put in jail. There's nobody to stand trial. There's nobody to has his day in court.
Right.
This was for nothing but publicity. I'm going to get to the point here because when I get to the point, you're going to be alarmed.
Very alarmed.
Behind us here is Pauline Pusser's grave. That's when they dug her up. Show Mike's. Dewana died in 2018. Her brother, Mike, died in 2021, I believe it was.
There we go. Now I'm going to put this one up.
Okay.
There. Sorry.
Michael Paul Vance. Just hear me out, guys. Hear us out. We'll get to the point here in a second.
Right.
We'll get to the alarming point. Michael Paul Vance passed peacefully at his home Tuesday, February 16th, 2021 in Kansas City, Missouri. 66 years old. Was born in Chicago, Illinois, September the 12th, 1954, to the late Pete Roman Vance and Pauline Mullins Vance Pusser. Now, Mike was born in 54, so Buford and Pauline were married, I think, December the 5th of 59. I could be wrong. So Mike was somewhere around 4 or 5 years old when Buford became his caretaker, his stepfather. Buford was more like a father to Mike. He raised Mike and Diane. Mike is survived by his sons and a daughter. Besides his parents, he was preceded in death by his stepfather, Buford Hayes Pusser, a sister, Diane Lynn Vance Mullins, and a half-sister, Dewana Pusser Garrison. Scroll on down there and let's see.
That's all it has.
Let me read you this up here at top. Or Sheila, you can't either one. Burial.
Where he's buried at? Burial details unknown.
Unknown. Go on to the Diane.
Okay. I'll find Diane for you.
You smart ones may be figuring this out about right now. Oh, well, is that it?
No, it is. I think it's this one.
Cook County, Illinois, birth. 29th of January, 1950. So she would have been 9 years old when Buford came into their lives, 8 or 9. She died at 60 years old in 2010.
Wow. Bless her heart.
Cremated. Specifically, ashes in the possession of the family. Diane, 60 years old, died July 15th at her home, affectionately known as, what is that, babe?
Pidge.
Pidge?
Yeah. Rhymes with bridge.
Oh, okay.
Pidge.
And she was also born in Chicago, late Pete Vance and Pauline Pusser. Leaves behind daughter and a son,
Mm-hmm.
a sister, Dewana. She got grandchildren. She preceded in death by her parents, Pete Vance, Pauline Mullins Vance Pusser, and her stepfather, Buford Hayes Pusser. Now, some people, if you listen to Mike Elam, I hate to even bring his name up during this here because this is a somber moment that needs some respect, but you can't help but bring it up the way this man has treated this family. Mike Elam says that in one of his videos that Diane seen Buford carrying her mother out after P.D. Plunk's wife heard a gunshot. And she saw him carrying her out, really. But she wanted her stepfather. She wanted the man that raised her and her brother on her obituary. She wanted his name listed. She didn't say, oh, don't never mention him and nothing of mine. I don't want nothing. No, she just like any other child growing up, just like we were with our parents and our kids was with us at times, rebellious. What, babe?
Rebellious.
Rebellious.
Yeah.
A memorial service will be held on the 22nd at 6 p.m. at the First Baptist Church in Adamsville, Tennessee. Funeral home and cremation. Sheila, go back to your big picture.
Okay.
And Sheila's going to tell you the news, the big news and then we'll tell you how it came about. And there's Pauline's grave, guys. There's where they dug Pauline up at. Go ahead, babe.
Guys, this is, like you said, very alarming. This is crazy. Not only when they dug up Pauline Pusser's remains, they also dug up Diane's and Mike's,
Ashes.
Pauline's son and daughter.
Both of them were cremated, and the families buried their ashes on top of their mother. All three of them was buried there together.
Yeah.
Now, because Mr. Davison,
Oh.
because they were in such a hurry to do this and do it behind the family's back, because, guys, this is Fred McCoy's opinion. Like I said, I really don't. Because they were in such a hurry and they wanted to get their names out there and they wanted to get this Buford Pusser story out. They didn't go to the grandchildren. They said, well, the brother's the next of kin. We'll just go to him. No, the way I read Tennessee law, and we're going to go over it in a minute. Mm-hmm. Those children, that was their parents. That was Mike had children out there. Diane's got children out there. That was their parents that was buried there. But because they failed to even check with the grandchildren and say, hey, we're going to be digging your grandmother up, where they could have said, whoa, wait a minute. You're digging our moms and dad up too. Yeah. They didn't do that. And, we talked before about Pauline's brother, how he didn't get along with Buford and how he didn't communicate and all this and that, but you gave him permission to dig up Pauline. Mm-hmm. Didn't mention nothing or didn't know nothing. Is he that close to the family that he didn't know that two other children had been buried on top of their mother?
His niece and nephew.
They took that dirt to who knows where. Some of it they put back in the hole. Some of it they've hauled off. Some of it they've. Go to your first thing there, guys. Let's wow. You guys should be, if you're like Sheila and I, you're in shock right now.
Yeah, this is sad, y'all. This is uncalled for. There's this one you wanted.
Surviving spouse varies depend on who you're requesting. The process for obtaining order in Tennessee varies depending on who is requesting. If it's a surviving spouse, forget it. That's not a spouse. Next of kin, non-spouse. For anyone other than a surviving spouse, a court order from the county's probate court is required. We've seen in the papers where Mr. Davison, I believe, went and got that after he got Griffin, her brother, to sign it. But let's go on. A court order is required. The applicant must show that they are the next of kin. Well, he would have been the next of kin to Pauline. What about the next of kin to Mike and the next of kin to Diane, Pauline's two children that was buried on top of their mother.
Exactly.
You're going to hear about cremation in a minute.
This is sad.
The applicant must show that they are the next of kin and provide notice to other interested family members. Provide notice. Even if Griffin, I think that's his name, had agreed to have his sister's remains dug up, then they should have, out of common courtesy, notified any living relatives, grandchildren, great grandchildren. See, we knew this was never going to happen as long as Dewana was alive. In a minute, you're going to hear whether the children and grandchildren would have allowed it. We know the answer to that. Everybody knows how Dewana felt about her mom and dad. Mike Elam drove her crazy. He drove her to the grave, whether she done it or somebody else done it. He run her crazy with this nonsense over the years. The court may require a hearing unless waivers are signed by all relevant parties. Relevant parties, children, court consideration. If an interested person objects to the move, the court will consider whether it goes against the decedent's known wishes or religious beliefs. Relocating cremated remains. They're talking if a cremated body, and then they can bury it in another spot. But let's go to the next one here.
Okay.
Let's go to the part on the legal issues
Let's try this one.
of cremation remains. In Tennessee,
There you go.
exhuming a body requires legal authority and court approval, as it is illegal to do without permission and is a Class E felony. I don't know if Mr. Davison, if this is going to go towards him or not. Him and TBI director David Roush, are they going to be, should they be charged with a Class E felony? It says it's a Class E felony to illegally dig somebody up without the correct approval. They had approval for Pauline Pusser, but because they failed or neglected through negligence and recklessness to notify the remaining children, they dug up two other corpses.
So they disturbed three people's graves.
Exactly.
Basically. Wow.
The process typically involves applying to the probate court. Applicant is responsible for the cost. They took charge of putting Pauline back. Where's Mike and Diane? Where's their remains at? Obtain a court order. You must get permission from the probate court. The person applying is responsible for all costs, including court costs. Go to the next one.
Okay.
I think the next one is the one on cremation.
Okay. You see, baby. I think it's this one. So this one's.
Let's see what the difference is between digging up Pauline, a casket and a vault, and digging up ashes. These are the results in Tennessee for exhuming a body, also pertain to cremated ashes. In Tennessee, the legal process for removing cremated remains, often called, is similar to the process of exhuming a full body from a burial plot. Both require a legal order and specific authorization. Disinterment versus exhumation. Exhumation, I'm sorry.
Exhumation, yeah.
Exhumation is the removal of the casketed body from the that was buried intact. Is the term of removing cremated remains, ashes from a burial site, such as a cemetery plot, mausoleum, etc. In Tennessee law, state law, all human remains, so whether a body was buried intact or cremated, legal permission is required. You can go back to us. I think
Wow.
that's all.
Wow,
Something else that we're
it's
missing.
just
Show Mike and Diane's picture.
okay. This is Mike and Diane when
There's
they were
Mike
younger.
and Diane. Go ahead, babe.
This is Diane, as she's affectionately known as Pidge. And here is like a family photo
You'll see in the
of
black dress. I
everybody.
think that's Dewana
I was gonna say that looks like Dewana, but I mean they can't see me pointing
in the
there. But
black
yeah,
dress.
that does look like her in the black dress, like a family photo.
They didn't
Interesting.
only exhume one person's remains, they exhumed 3. They had
Mhm.
permission for 1, but because of negligence and failure to notify the family, because Mr. Davison was afraid, in my opinion, that he would get feedback from Dewana's children. Mike was living at the time of Dewana's
Of
death because she
Dewana's.
died in
Mhm.
2018.
Mhm.
Mike didn't die till 2021.
Mhm.
But rather than notify the family, because they're liable to buck, they may cause us some legal issues. Let's just get the old man's permission here to dig his sister up. Let's go to it. We'll tell him after we're
Wow.
done, or we'll tell him after the process has started. So it's too late to interfere. This is my opinion. And they end up digging up 3 bodies
Oh
instead of
my
1.
goodness.
Why didn't Davison Why didn't Mr. Davison ask the grandchildren, the great grandchildren? Why didn't he notify everybody so they could have said, hey, wait a minute. What about mom? What about dad? They're buried on top of grandma.
Mhm.
Kids trump. Now, there's a place in there for like a sister. Sheila and I have been doing some research. And for Pauline to dig Pauline up, the next of kin would have been the brother over the grandchildren.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they had no say over Pauline. The brother would have trumped them.
They
And
could have
he
gave
did.
their opinion, or that they could protest. I guess that they didn't agree with it, but still, I guess the brother had the
Oh, they could have done that. And
major.
they could have
Mhm.
also filed legal process. They could have kept
Mhm.
it in court with an attorney where they didn't want her dug up.
Right.
Now, ultimately, according to the law we read, the brother was the next of kin. He would have been granted
He could
to
grant the
exhume.
permission. Yeah.
But at the same time, if that would have happened, they could have said, well, wait a minute. You got mom and dad buried on top of grandma.
Mhm.
And they could have said, okay, well, you all give us permission. And if you want, we're going to have to go to the courts or we're going, but at least everybody would have known. And they could have went back to where they buried the ashes at in a 2-foot hole or whatever they were put in.
Mhm.
They could have dug that up and at least had that separate when they put grandma back, Mike and Diane back.
Yeah. It's
You
sad.
can't put toothpaste back in a bottle, back in a tube.
Oh.
Mike had children. Diane had children.
Mhm. And so therefore, they would have trumped Pauline's brother.
Guys, this whole thing is outrageous. This stinks from the word go. And I've said it on 2 or 3 videos on y'all missing some videos on Fred McCoy 40. That's where I've been posting the TBI report at as people send it to me where I can give you my take. Fred McCoy 40. But I posted on there what we need here is just like it's going on in the FBI right now. We need whistleblowers.
Yeah.
We need somebody to step forward, whether you're ready to retire or whether you want to retire and file a suit or whatever. But we need a whistleblower within the TBI that knows and the prosecutor's office. What's behind this? Somebody knows in these meetings behind closed doors. We've talked about this and we've said what we need here, what we need there. We need the experts to say this. We need the experts to do that
It's like they had tunnel vision.
because they knew the evidence was gone. That's a good way of putting it, babe. They got tunnel vision.
They just was.
Mr. Davison and Mr. Roush got tunnel vision. They got so set on name recognition. This is Fred talking. This is my opinion
Mm.
that they couldn't see the forest for the trees. And there's somebody out there that knows it. There's somebody in the TBI or in the prosecutor's office that knows the motivation behind this. This was not, don't be mistaken, guys. This was not justice for Pauline. It's anything but justice for Pauline. This was for recognition, fame, fortune, and name recognition, notoriety. Even the reports that we're reviewing is pointed in one direction. They try to point. You don't know if you're reading Mike Elam's book, if you're reading something from 1967 or something from 2025. because they don't distinguish between it. They want you to be confused. They want the people to think that they're reading something from 1967 when they're reading something that somebody has said 2 years ago in Mike Elam's book, or he said that they said. They're dead now. And they have taken those statements as fact. They have taken that as fact. And something's not right. Guys, there is no, I'm sorry to be so blunt. Like I said, this has really been, I'm not, this ain't the way a Christian talks, but there is absolutely, there's not a prosecutor in the United States of America that is this stupid. This is a college educated man with a degree. And he's pulled a stunt. He pulled 3 bodies. He exhumed 3 bodies because he failed to notify family members and give them the opportunity.
And now, like you said, their remains are who knows where.
I'm going to read you something.
So sad.
I'm not going to, I'm going to tell you this. We've got a big interview coming up with some family members, a personalized interview. And if you're a Pusser fan, if you're not a Pusser fan, you'll want to tune in because, guys, Mr. Elam can make up all the rumors he wants. Mr. Davison and Mr. Roush can stand up there on that stage all day long and convict in public opinion Buford Pusser of murdering his wife. We've got another one to show you there in a minute, Pauline Pussers. Go ahead and show them that before I read this. Look at Pauline Pussers. A while back, we went to find a grave researching Pauline Pusser. When this come out, it gave you her information. Look what it says today.
Wow. I mean, this totally shocked me. It tells, when she was born and when she died. And let's see what it says here. She was born on February 27th, 1931 in Dixon County, Virginia. She died on August the 12th. Of course, we knew that at age 36. She's buried in Adamsville.
I think she was 33. I think the birthday, it varies wherever you're looking at, but look at the,
now let me see. Where is that one at? That's not got the whole thing in there. Ding dang, I'll have to add that to it.
All right, she can put that at the end of the video. Guys, what it states is that Pauline Pusser was murdered by her husband.
Yes.
It was discovered in 2025 by the prosecutor and TBI that Pauline was murdered by her husband.
Yeah.
That's what it now says on her obituary, on her find a grave.
Yep.
It'll be there forevermore. It's again, when they stood on that stage and convicted Buford Pusser of murder, no trial, no day in court, no due process. That's the most outrageous and outlandish. This guy should be disbarred. He not only should be sued personally, you may not be able to sue him in his official capacity, but he should be sued in his private world for what this man has done. The prosecutor, the TBI is outrageous. This is taking the TBI back. They should dissolve the TBI as a law enforcement agency. I know this ain't all of you guys. I know this ain't, but with a director like that, and if the governor's not going to fire him and try to appoint somebody that's going to redeem the TBI, then they should dissolve it, because who can ever trust the TBI? We know we can't trust them to find 2 missing children or to charge their custodians or ever who's in charge, who's supposed to protect their children. Somebody should be charged. This guy wants to indict a dead man. Won't you indict somebody that's responsible for their children being missing? I'm going to read you something.
Okay.
I wrote a family member. You're going to find out who they are. You'll find out when we do an interview. And I said, did you ever once, guys, all Sheila and I want is the truth. We're not taking up for Buford Pusser. We're not trying to dog Buford Pusser. The truth.
Right.
The truth through proof.
And that's what we're trying to do here.
Did you ever once hear your say he was abused or saw his mom abused by Buford? Never. Buford was a gentle giant, hardly ever even raised his voice. Now, goes on.
Yeah.
First husband, previous marriage, was very abusive towards Pauline.
Yep.
Thank you. Just as we figured. Sheila and I were, that's for other purposes.
Yeah.
Have you or so-and-so agreed? Did you or so-and-so agree to have Pauline dug up? It says in Tennessee law, all living parties. No, we did not.
That's in their own words.
TBI said next living kin gave them approval, which was Pauline's brother, Griff, from Kentucky. Mark. We'll cut that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do you want to put the other part there?
Grandchildren found out they were exhuming my grandmother as it was happening. TBI never notified us. I think that come down to Mr. Davison. I think that come down to the prosecutor. I think he's the one that filed for to exhume Pauline's body. And Diane's ashes were buried on top of Pauline's grave, on top of their mother. So you can imagine how we felt about that. Wow, so sad. What did they say when you told them what they had done? No response. They knew none of the grandchildren would give them approval to do it.
Wow.
This is me. We figured that this was wrong from the start, and Davis and Roush knew it, we're hoping a TBI whistleblower will come forth eventually and enlighten everyone as to what's behind all this. We know what's behind it. Anybody that's got a normal mind knows what's behind this. This was not justice for nobody. We've got a Mike Elam out here that says he's running around with a stolen gun, shooting a stolen gun that supposedly, and I believe that gun actually did. I think it was used in the ambush. I don't think it come from Buford Pusser. It came from O'Neill Moffett, and it went to P.D. Plump, and P.D. Plump, or somebody he knew, P.D. Plump, in my opinion, knew something, as sorry as it is to say, about this ambush. He had the gun. Moffett had the gun. P.D. Plump's got the gun. Ricky's got the gun. Ricky's not been charged. Mike Elam's not been charged. 2 children's not been found, but we're going to give justice for Pauline Pusser 58 years ago. Guys, do you know how silly that sounds? That's about writing books. That's about covering Mike Elam and Oakley Dean Baldwin that wrote the letter. We'll post it again.
Pauline deserves both. And at 10:22 this morning, I got an email from Oakley Dean Baldwin, which said, Mark, on behalf of the Mullins family members, Griffin, Robert, and Trula Hall, many cousins, and other family members, we thank you for giving Pauline a voice from her grave. I'll now turn over the podium.
Next video, we'll post it again, the live press conference, where he plays a video of Griff, the brother, and said if he'd only known. From what we understand, he didn't even get along with Buford and Pauline the last few years of her life. We've asked for pictures. We've asked for a funeral picture or anything, a birthday, a baptism, anything where a family reunion where they were all together. We ain't seen it. He didn't get along with Buford. And since he didn't get along with her husband, she didn't get along with her brother. Go ahead, babe. You got anything?
No, just that you was talking about how they talked to the brother and showed up, but
Punk, and that's where I was going with this.
yeah.
They played the video. They were so proud of that video where the brother, you can tell he's elderly. This is almost elderly abuse. It really is. This is on the verge of elderly abuse. I'm not reading everything we've got here, but they made several trips to see Griff. This didn't happen in one. They had to convince this old man of what they wanted to do and get his approval. This is elderly abuse. They swindled him, in my opinion. Goodness sakes, guys, I guess we want. We've accused a dead man in the ground that never was convicted of a crime in his life. We've convicted him. You guys convicted Buford Pusser of murder when you stood on that stage. You convicted him of murder. What was the purpose? You can't take them to court. You can't put them in prison. You can't make him pay a fine. The purpose was for embarrassment of Buford, embarrassment of Pauline, embarrassment of Dewana, Carl, Helen. How far does it go back? Somebody is PO'd at the Pusser family in this little circle, and they got their revenge here, and they disturbed 2 innocent graves.
That is unbelievable.
If I sound upset, guys, we are.
Yeah.
Sheila just controls it better. Sheila's real. I'm glad you're like that, babe. I wish I was more like you. But for you people out there, whether you agree, whether you're Mike Elam fans, I don't care whose fan we are. It's not about being a Buford Pusser fan. I don't care about Buford Pusser's life or what he done. This is about a dead man that can't take up for himself. There's people I've argued with, and I don't want to argue with people.
No.
I want people to look at it with an open mind and look at the evidence and say, hey, it's not here. The evidence is not here. A person's past predicts their future. Buford never shot nobody that didn't shoot at him first. This is not. And then take somebody that's out here, a lot lizard. What's people doing out here in these parking lots? Say they're out here at 4 o'clock in the morning. They're out here at what in the world? Climbing on gravel and seeing what Buford's up to. And they make up all these stories from 58 years ago, and people believe them like they're the gospel. Family's done wrong, guys.
They have.
Family.
You know how they talk, and this is just me. It's kind of like what you were saying earlier. Kind of abuse of a corpse.
This is abuse of a corpse. This is abuse of the elderly.
Yeah.
Manipulation of the elderly. Negligence, carelessness. Didn't want to notify the family until they had the backhoe, and the family called and said, hey, they're digging grandma up. What? Mom and dad's there. What do you mean they're digging grandma? Mom and dad's buried on top of her.
Wow.
I hope you guys are as mad as I am. I hope you're guys. If you live in Tennessee and Mr. Roush is not fired from the TBI, that's a disgrace. If Mr. Davison is not debarred from his law degree, this is a disgrace.
Wow.
And if we don't have a bunch of attorneys get together to support the remaining members of this family and file one of the most awesome lawsuits that's ever been filed against all these people that's involved, all of them.
Every one of them.
And build up the office fund for a law team, a law firm, where they can bring in their experts, not just one of each thing, just to get a report and say, yep, he killed her. Killed her outside the car and put her inside the car. Really? Because I posted a video today of the report from the FBI. the blood outside on the hood and the blood on the outside on the windshield is inconclusive. The reason it's inconclusive is because it's got O blood and A blood mixed together. It's got Pauline and Buford's blood mixed together in those droplets. That's where Buford was going around the car to check on his wife, and her head had done blowed up and blew brain matter all over him. And he's getting out to run over there to check on her, and he's dropping blood. This man's 6'6", guys. This guy's hovering over top of the roof of the car. He's that tall. Wherever he goes, his droplets go. Mine, I'd be lucky to get them on a fender well. This is the most, guys, we're asking TBI workers, employees that worked on this case. We're asking anybody in the prosecutor's office that worked on this case to give it up. Stand tall. Stand tall. I did it. I've been fired. I lost my job when I was a young officer as a detective. Only 2 detectives in the whole department fired both of us because they were corrupt, and we turned them in. Cost us our job. Saddest time of our life. We did it. Right thing to do. Right. Sometimes you got to do what's right. You got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything.
I was thinking of that.
Well, that's what my dad used to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's somebody out there that knows what this was all about. They know the behind story. They know who's related to who Buford Pusser's arrested in the past, who Buford Pusser run against in an election in the past, who Buford Pusser or Carl Pusser, somebody in the Pusser family, has made mad. And now it's time for revenge. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I don't believe I am. I don't believe I am. This is not for justice for Pauline. This is anything but justice for Pauline. They just dug her up beside of her loving husband on rumors, on a book, a fictional book. Read the page in the book where it says fictional. Fictional. And then go look at the report, the TBI report, and see how many of those pages, see how many of those stories out of that book are thrown together. We've seen some of them. The women that said, Mom heard this, Mom seen that, my aunt heard this, my aunt seen, really? Because they're going to be famous, just like Ricky Plunk was going to be famous and brought that gun up. TBI, your people's out there. The sad thing is, the people that's involved or knew something about that ambush, there's at least 2 of them out there. That's the sad thing. And you walked right by them, like a landmine sitting there, and you walked right by it. I better shut up.
Yeah.
I better shut up. I'm not shutting up because I'm scared of anything. Because, guys, again, Sheila and I don't have a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out, Sue. Because the sooner somebody can get this in depositions and in court and get people to swear under oath, under penalty of perjury, as to different questions. Family's been done wrong. The Pusser family has been done wrong. Thanks, guys. Sheila, you're up.
We hope you all are doing well. This is unbelievable when we found this out. As has been stated before, this is mind-boggling. It really is.
Who said that? Mike Elam. Mike Elam says that. I
wasn't going to say the name, but
Mike Elam, every video. This is mind-boggling. Yes, it is, Mike. Yes, hopefully nobody ever does anybody else's family like they have done the Pusser family. Sorry, baby.
It's okay. Anyway. Sorry. Yeah, this is sad that this happened to this family. Like he said. But we do hope y'all are doing well. Thank you for watching. Thank you for always tuning in. Guys, y'all are amazing people. We can't thank you enough for that. Please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye. God bless.